Ketan, आवाज थोड़ा echo हो रहा है.
It is echoing, right? Wait. Wait, then I will figure. Is it better now without the video? Anushka, is it better now without the video?
Yes, yes.
Got it. Cool. I will see if I need to switch off my video, right, at times. I will
Good.
figure it out. Cool. Hi, guys. How are you? Pretty much excited to host you guys all here for this session. Please tell me by unmuting yourself, right? Where are you all from? What are you looking from this session? What are you doing currently these days? You're a college fresher or you are industry experience looking into break into analytics. So would like to know my audience first. You can drop in messages also, or you can unmute yourself. You guys
Hi,
are
Ketan.
able.
How are you? Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, yes, Joseph, you are audible. Please tell me.
Yeah, hi. My name is Joseph. I'm currently based in the United Kingdom. I'm a data analyst, and I'm looking to transition from a data analyst to a business analyst. So I joined the session just to know a couple of, pro tips that you could provide for me to embark on that journey.
Understood. Got it. Welcome, Joseph, to the session.
Thank you, Ketan.
Anyone else who would like to introduce? So yeah, we have some answers in the chat. People we have from Abu Dhabi. We have people who have done a post graduation in data science and they are looking for a job opportunity. Okay, but had a career gap of 5 years. Understood. We have more experienced people right now in the audience. I should also share my screen, right?
Hi, this is Anjali. I recently completed my MBA from IIM Indore last year and would be completing 1 year as an analyst in Optum Global Solutions. So I'm looking at opportunities for business analyst and product owner outside my organization or inside my organization. So I wanted to know how to like what all skills are needed for this role.
Understood. Thanks, Anjali. We will cover this particular portion definitely in the webinar. Anyone else who would like to go ahead? Let me go to the chat session itself. So we have here South Africa. Nice. Looking for role as a business analyst. I'm working in a non-tech profile and looking to switch in business analyst. So, Rohit, as you mentioned, right, you're an aspiring business analyst and I'm into IT. So what exactly you're currently doing as an IT? Understood, Sonali. I will definitely cover this particular question that, even after a switch even after career gap, whether you are able to switch into analyst field or not. I will cover it. But the simple answer would be yes, you can do it. Specialization looking for a job opportunity. So giving you a context, guys, many of you have, written down that you are looking for as a job opportunity. So this session is not typically about job opportunities, more about, how can you definitely get a job, how can you make your resume better, right? And how can you attract recruiters towards your profile, so on and so forth, but not exactly, sharing the job opportunities directly in this particular webinar. Working in Upstood Tech. So now looking transition into role as a business analyst. Okay. So got it. So most of the people, in the audience here are, looking to switch into analytics, or they have a career gap, or they have, no knowledge about what analytics all about. So we will definitely cover all these points. Anushka, we can go ahead, right? We can start the session. We have enough audience.
Yes, it-
Sure. Cool. Hi guys, welcome again. I am Ketan Goel and I'm currently working as senior business analyst in Meesho. So Meesho is an e-commerce company just like Amazon and Flipkart. Prior to that, I was working with Wipro, where I had 2 years of experience as a business analyst. In my career transformation journey as a career transformation coach, I have helped around 50 plus individuals in transition into analytics. Now, what exactly that would mean is that people have come up to me and they seek some kind of mentorship, that they have all the online resources, but still they were unable to transition into that particular field. So I helped them, guided them, understanding the concepts better, understanding the market better, understanding the domain experience better. So that was all about me helping them. Now, as we start from the session, right, it will be a two-way session where your doubts would be resolved better, right? That would be the first objective for us. Now, moving on to the first thing, I would like to know from all of you guys, like, what exactly is business analyst? Please unmute yourself and tell me, right? Anyone, what do you think about what do business analysts do in the daily domain like?
So they act as a liaison between the business and the development team.
Okay. Anyone else who would like to try?
They
Business
understand the
analyst is
business.
someone who takes the requirements from the clients and analyze the business requirements and present the analyticals through the presentations and all.
Understood. So, guys, first of all, there are two types of business analyst profiles in the market. One is called as data business analyst. One is called as technical business analyst. Both are totally different profiles and they don't overlap with each other. So, first of all, I will talk about technical business analyst. Technical business analyst is someone who takes the engineering requirement from the client and share it with the engineering team. For example, you want to create an app, you will go to a company and say, I want to create this app. Now, the first point of interaction in that company would be a business analyst who will gather all the requirements and make a project plan. Like, okay, these are the engineers in my team who will build this particular product. This is a timeline that it will cover into, and these are the features we will be giving to the client. And this is the main role of that particular technical business analyst. It doesn't involve much of data analysis in that particular role, right? And this role is particularly driven in service-based companies, this particular role, or companies which have a SaaS kind of startup where they provide software as a service to the clients. So this is called technical business analyst. Do not overlap it with data business analyst, which involves more in data analysis. Talking more about business analyst, this particular session is going to be about business analyst, which comes under data analysis domain, right? Now I will give you an example. What do business analysts do? In simple terms, business analysts solve business problems for a company. For example, uh, Meesho is an e-commerce company, right? Our major objective is that people come to our platform and order more. So for me as a business analyst there is only single objective, that I have to solve these problems. Again, explaining you this example through a case study through. For example, you can see everyone is aware about Big Bazaar, I believe, right? Big Bazaar was a whole retail chain in India where people go inside and purchase the product of their own choice, then get into the lines on the billing counter, and they come out after purchasing it. Years back, they introduced this concept of Wednesday Bazaar, right? As you can see on the screen, what this particular advertisement is showing to them is that there are various products slashed at different prices, and they have some kind of marketing activity going on. For example, buy 4 get 1 free, buy 2 get 1 free, 25% off. So looking at this advertisement, what do you think this particular Wednesday Bazaar concept would be? Any idea? Anyone from the group?
It's a marketing strategy. So business analysts typically analyze the data and they came to know on which day the sales will be higher. So which day they have to launch the offers and
Right, you are going in right direction. So I will explain you what was the backstory behind this particular Wednesday Bazaar concept. So Big Bazaar had a very, very big problem that all of the rush that comes into their stores, right, offline stores, that was majorly on weekends, that is Saturday and Sunday. Now, what was causing them the problem is that there were huge lines on the billing counter and people were dropping off without purchasing anything because the lines were too long for them, which is a bad customer experience and also loss of business for the company, right? Agree, guys? Guys, I need your more interaction.
Agree,
Like,
agree.
right?
Yeah,
So
agree. Yeah.
it is leading to more business loss for the company. Now, as a business analyst, you have the entire data, right? How many people are coming in, how many people are coming out, what particular item they are purchasing, right? So, as a business analyst, they did is they understood that on Wednesday they have the highest traffic, but on a specific weekday, that is Wednesday, that they have the least traffic, and now they have to do something in such a fashion that all the traffic of Saturday and Sunday can be drive towards Wednesday. So what that's why they launched this Wednesday Bazaar. Now what exactly they are doing here is they slash the prices of some of their products, right? Which induced in the people's mind that Wednesday is that particular day of the week where the prices would be very, very cheap. So now instead of planning their purchasing or shopping pattern, now the users are going to Wednesday. Now what is this solving for Big Bazaar? It is increasing the customer experience for for the people coming up already on the weekend, right? On Sunday they are less rush, billing counter has less smaller lines, and hence their business revenue is not getting lost, and a better customer experience. Now it also gave them an added advantage to them, right? When the customers are now coming on to Wednesday, they are buying a certain products. Now they have very carefully choose these products. These are all those products which are not getting sold on the BAU. BAU is called as business as usual days. For example, this Kit Kat might not getting sold on other days. So this particular retail system also have an issue of inventory management. If this particular Kit Kat will remain in their inventory for too long, it will get expired, right? Which will again leads to their loss in revenue. Now they have clubbed both these problems and provided a single solution that we will give discounts on particular products that are going to expire. Right? Now these products are being sold and increasing the customer experience and also solving their business problem. So do you guys now know that what exactly a business analyst do? In this particular case study, I didn't talk about any tool, right? I didn't talk about Python, I didn't talk about SQL, I didn't talk about Excel, right? So this is the primary objective of a business analyst, that they have to drive the businesses, right? Rest everything, whatever tools we are using, whatever XYZ things are using, these are just mere tools to come to this particular point. Does this make sense, guys? Are you able to now distinguish between technical business analyst and a data business analyst?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Anyone who still has any doubt? No. So moving further.
One second. So this is you're telling about data business analyst, right?
Yes, right.
So in this, we will be doing data analysis in the end, right?
Like, are you talking in the webinar or just in the role itself?
No, like this role.
Yes, yes. So what I told you, right? They had a problem and they proposed a solution. Now that whatever solution they proposed, that came out of a data analysis, right? On so coming up with that insight that okay, on Saturday I have the maximum traffic, and which day I have the least traffic, that is Wednesday. That is all coming from data analysis only. And then again
So
coming up with kind of product. Just a second.
so
And
for
again coming up.
data, yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, so for analyzing the data, we will be required to learn some tools for analyzing this data, right?
Yes, yes, definitely we will require it. I'm coming up to that part in later in the session.
Okay.
What I'm trying to
Okay.
understand here is just explaining the people that what exactly business analysts do. That is the primary
Okay.
objective is to drive business, not to learn tools. Tools are just the helping hands.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir,
Anyone else? Yeah. Please tell.
sir, hi, sir. Actually, can I know at least is it an institute or any company? Like, is it an interview or any training institute? It is basically.
No, so this is a session where we will explain more get in more detail about business analytics. This is not an institute or something else.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, this is the first round of interview, right?
Uh, Anushka, can we help this guy better?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. I have joined lately. I think so. After 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so Anushka will solve your query. She will ping you,
Yeah,
or she will
so
reach out
this
to
is
you.
a group
Okay.
where the mentor you with the like how to prepare and crack your business interview, and for that, what are things you need to upskill and know. This session is really about that.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
You can reach out to Anushka once the session gets over, right? I'm moving on.
Okay, okay, sir.
Just moving on. Please mute yourself. Okay. For the
Okay, sir.
other people, right? Getting in detail about roadmap to become business analyst. So what are the main skills that is getting required? The first skill that is required for a business analyst is to learn the basic tools of data analysis. The first that comes is Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Now, everyone knows that, Excel is there, everyone must have used in their day-to-day life, and everyone feels that they know Microsoft Excel, but that is not the reality. Just most of you guys who are present in this group just know the only first line, right? You have just learned the Excel functions, right? What does the sum do? What does the sum product do? So these particular functions doesn't solve the data analysis part, right? You need to understand those functions first and then apply on some kind of a data set, right? When you apply those functions on a data set, it will be called as data analysis. Once you apply those functions on a data set, right, you will be able to create some charts in the Excel, right, and then come up with some insights that, okay, for example, coming back to the case study that I showed you, right, if you will create charts and you will get to know that on Saturday there was a peak in the traffic, on Monday it was a less traffic. So all these kind of things is called data analysis. That comes in data analysis. You need to understand the insights from the data on that particular thing. And the third comes Excel dashboard. Now, from the data analysis, there are multiple insights that are coming up, which are binding to different problems that a company has, and going in towards the different business outcomes. So you need to get all the insights together and show them up in an Excel dashboard. Second things that comes under the tools is SQL. So what is SQL? SQL is called a structured query language. SQL is similar to how we learn normal, right? Our language, native languages, for example, English. All the group members might know about SQL, right? So SQL is similar to, like, for example, you learn English like A, B, C, D, E, F. There are statements in the SQL language, select where, these kind of statements, and everyone goes through them and learn them first. So we know that SQL helps the data analysis, but most of the people only know these statements. Just as you use the functions in Microsoft Excel to drive analysis, right? Now you need to apply the same learnings from SQL and drive analysis from that SQL part. Giving you an example here, the same problem that you can solve from Microsoft Excel, you can solve from SQL also. Just that difference between Microsoft Excel and SQL is that the data range, right? Microsoft can have only 1 million rows. SQL can have billions of trillions of rows for data analysis. Guys, do you have any doubts with regards to difference between Microsoft Excel and SQL, and how exactly we need to use it for data analysis? Anyone? Cool. Moving on to the third part, basic statistics. What do you mean by basic statistics, right? This involves mainly mean, median, mode, and some of the uh, statistical algorithms. For example, linear regression, these kind of things. So whatever analysis you are doing in your day-to-day life, right? Using Excel or using SQL, that should be done using basic statistics. For example, in the in the same case study that I discussed about, right? How many people are coming up? How will you came to know that how many average number of people are coming? So using this basic statistics, mean, median, mode, only you will be able to figure out that what is the kind of data set I'm dealing with, right? What is the population size of the data set? How I'm going to do sample distribution for the further analysis. So this particular component is very, very important to drive your data analysis. After you have gone through these particular three technical skills, now you need to move on to a better visualization software. It is similar to Excel dashboard but more automated. So the industry standards currently going in detail about Tableau, Power BI, Mixpanel, right? Tableau is a very, very expensive software, and you can learn this particular data visualization tool very cheaply through their free courses and YouTube resources. Mixpanel is mainly used in product analytics, where all the data that comes from the app gets stored, and you can create creative dashboards there. Last but not the least, in terms of technical skill, it is Python is a data language, right? And it is not needed for a fresher role, but definitely if you are experienced, right, 2 years or 3 years experience in this particular role, you need to start doing same kind of analysis that you are using in SQL in Python also. It has much more flexibility of functions. So these kind of things get covered in the uh, technical skills. Any doubt regarding to any other technical skill that you feel that should be there, or are you getting clarification from these particular technical skills? Any doubts?
Hello.
Yeah, can you speak loudly?
Yes.
So,
Uh,
with respect to the data visualization tool,
Yeah.
Hi. My question is,
uh,
uh, what is the difference between a pipeline analytics and a dashboard compared to with Excel dashboard and Power BI dashboard?
Okay. So essentially, there is no difference between them. You need to understand what is the objective of a dashboard. Dashboard objective is to give you. There's a lot of echo here. Just a second. Guys, I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yes, cool. So I was just discussing about, right, what is the difference between a dashboard, Excel dashboard or the dashboard. Objective of the dashboard is give to you complete and concise outcomes of the data analysis. That can be done through Excel dashboard also, and from the other dashboards from Power BI or Tableau or Mixpanel also. The core difference comes in the functionality of it. Here in the Excel, you have to write your own functions, whereas in these particular tools, you will find out the drag and drop features, right? That is the first main difference. Second is the ability to analyze the data sets. In particular Tableau, right? You can analyze 3, 4 data sets in parallelly, but in Excel, you will be able to analyze only one data set in one time. So it is the higher versions of the same particular field. You can say that. Was I able to resolve this doubt?
My question is related to the pipeline analytics.
Pipeline analytics comes in the data engineering part. Matlab, here, if you will, what does the data pipeline mean? Now, for example, you open an app, right? After opening the app, that data is getting stored somewhere in an unstructured format. That particular unstructured format data needs to flow through some kind of pipelines so that business analysts can use that data for the data analysis. Now, whether these pipelines are working fine or not. Now, example, you open that particular app, right? I need to make sure that your data is getting registered in my particular database also. So if 100 people have opened the app, those pipeline dashboard will tell me 100 people opened the app, and I have also got the data of 100 people in the system. Understood kya?
Yes, thank you.
So again, perspective from the dashboarding point is again same. Dashboard means insights. It is a kind of data. A business analyst will use it for business data, and a pipeline dashboard will use the data for the pipelines. Got it? Guys, any other doubt regarding to technical skills?
So between Tableau and Power BI, which is the most used tool in the industry?
Power BI is the most used to just because it is less expensive. Tableau is more expensive, and it is used in much bigger organizations.
Okay. Also, I wanted to know, like Python, we should learn. So, like, where exactly it helps? Because anyway, we are doing data analysis using Excel or SQL. So, Python का role कहाँ पे आता है?
See, again, coming back to the first question, what do business analysts do? Our objective is to drive business, right? And for business, we need some kind of tools. Microsoft Excel had some limitation. That's why SQL came into the game. SQL has some limitations. That's why Python come into the game. Python has some kind of limitations in terms of using. That's why this particular data science, AI, ML engineering came into the play. So it is about the role and the kind of experience you are already in. As a fresher, when you are joining the firm, right? Your daily tasks would only be involved in SQL and Excel only. But once you are 2 year or 3 year experience in the role, right, it would be expected that you know other tools also whenever required. Not all problems can be solved from Excel and SQL. They all have their limitations. So it is the growth. It is like a growth charter. First you learn A, then B, then C, then D. And once you learn A to Z, then only you will be called as a data scientist. So these are the mere tools whenever it is dependent upon the company's problem statement they're trying to solve. So it is not a individual specific answer that when do you need Python, but if you need a specific answer, at least if you are a 2 to 3 year experience, you should know Python also.
Okay, thank you.
Second thing which I would like to add here is how Python is helping is through their individual libraries. They have Pandas is a library which works same exactly as SQL, and it is very fast. So these libraries make your life very easy. Yes, Siddharth, you have a question. You can ask it.
Yeah, hi Ketan. So Ketan, I'm a non-CS graduate. So I'm reiterating the question for my personal reason. So I'm a non-CS guy. I am a service. I was a cabin crew for a good 12 years with Jet Airways. And so I end up doing the cloud skills. I got into AWS graduate program, but I've been made to realize that one cannot enter cloud so easily because of the market scenario as well. And since I'm no CS graduate. So eventually I'm getting into this business analyst role. So I've recently enrolled for this Barbook version 3 by IIBA. So am I going on the right track by doing this course, the first? And of course, what we've been seeing in the meeting that you've been suggesting, a SQL, Python, and the different tools. So is it the right track I'm on to get into this business analyst role?
See that immediately I cannot answer the complete question, right? Because I don't know much about the course you are doing it, right? But answering the first part of the question, whether you are on the right track or not. How do we answer that? First is, as I as I explained in the webinar, right? What does business analysts do? First of all, to make up your mind, is it what I feel doing it? Are you a problem solver? Yes. If you can answer that question, yes, I'm a problem solver. Then you can definitely enter into this industry. There is no one going to block anything for you, not even your prior experience.
Okay.
right? And how can you do that? I will cover up in the later part, where I will explain, if someone has a career gap or they are switching into some kind of other role, how can they leverage their current experience only to get into analytics?
Right. So I am sure we might have midlife career crisis people as well on the training
Correct.
on
Yes.
with 51 people
Yeah.
amongst us.
Yes, right.
Thank you,
So
Ketan.
I will definitely cover that point.
Okay, I'm waiting for that. Thank you.
Anything from the technical point of view, right? I will move forward. No. Moving forward then. Again, sharing my screen there. Guys, now moving into the secondary part, right? Which is the most important part. The 50 folks on the call, all must have gone through these technical skills. It is available everywhere in the online, right? Every course is teaching that. But this is the just mere tools. These are the basically soft skills that actually give value to your technical skills, right? What people are looking forward in the industry as a business analyst role, who are problem solvers, who are, to be more clear, to be more precise, it is ambiguous problem solvers. For example, you are launching an app, right? The simple problem could be how to make people interact with that app. How to, how can we go ahead and, make sure people are opening that particular app. This is a completely ambiguous problem. No one knows a solution around it, but you need to build around it. So to solve these particular problems, you need, first of all, two things. First of all, a mindset to solve these problems, secondary experience of solving these kind of problems. How do you get these particular skills? First of all, guesstimates. What do you mean by guesstimates? Giving you an example. If the group I ask a simple question, how many people are using WhatsApp right now? Can anyone tell anything about it? Any random guess they can take? How many people might be using WhatsApp right now? Any
Maybe
idea, guys?
around 8 billion.
Right. So just as one of the percentile, right? 8 billion, right? This is not the right way to do a guesstimate, right? What does a guesstimate mean? Okay. So there are 8 to 10 billion population of Earth. Half of them would be sleeping because of day and night. And half of them would be working right now. Some would be college students, studying right now. Some would be probably doing their business right now. So we will segregate all these numbers, and we will come to a point conclusion that, okay, these are the relative number of people that might be using the app, and that can came out to be 2 to 3 billion. Now, no one actually knows that what is the 2 to 3 billion, but your approach to reach it from 10 billion to 2 billion is what is a guesstimate all about. That can you think about the various reasons that a person is not opening the or not opening the WhatsApp or not, right? So what does solving guesstimates help you out? It helps you out with the helps you out with the reasons that a particular problem can be solved through. Guys, understood the objective of a guesstimate? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Once you have solved some guesstimates, right? Some random guesstimates like that, now pick up a problem case. Pick up a business case. For example, Amazon. Now they have launched a new category. They have launched a new category called pet supplies. Now you have to market size the product कि इंडिया में कितने लोग ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हैं पेट सप्लाईज का. मान लो 100 लोग खरीदते हैं. अमेजन कितनों को बेच पाएगी? 10 लोगों को बेच पाएगी. कितनी देर में बेच पाएगी? एक साल में बेच पाएगी. सो now that guesstimate learnings need to be applied on a business case, right? Once you apply these particular learnings, कितने लोगों को बेच पाएगी, ये सब बैकएंड पे डेटा एनालिसिस के थ्रू होगा, टूल्स के थ्रू यूज होगा. बट अगेन ऑब्जेक्टिव इज कि हाउ टू पर्टिकुलरली सॉल्व देम, राइट? थर्ड पॉइंट आई एम कमिंग इन इज लर्न थ्रू प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग फ्रेमवर्क्स. जैसे भी मैंने डिस्कस किया, आपको एक अमेजन की एग्जांपल बताई. हम कभी भी इसको कोई भी रैंडमली कहीं से भी स्टार्ट नहीं करते हैं, राइट? इट ऑल हैज वी हैव टू गो फ्रॉम अ जर्नी फ्रॉम ए टू जेड. सो industry standard, there are problem solving frameworks. The most basic one is called as 5 why methodology. Ask why 5 times to each and every problem, and once you have answers to those, you can start solving the problem, right? So this is the most important skill that people are looking into the interviews. Any questions regarding the structured problem solving? Sorry, spelling got wrong. Let's Guys, anyone?
No, Ketan.
Cool. Now the secondary problem area where people lack is communication. Now, communication doesn't mean knowing of the language of English. You don't need to be better at speaking English. It is better articulation of your thoughts and art of storytelling. What do I mean by that is, now you know the tools, right? You have learned all the SQL, Python, Excel, dashboarding tools. Now you also know how to solve the problem. Now you need to communicate same thing to the senior leadership in the company. Okay, this was the problem. This is the data analysis I have done. This is a solution that I'm proposing to you. This is the business impact that it can have. Now, all these things need to be communicated in a very, very short time, in a very, very strategic manner. So there is the communication thing which people need it. There is no value addition if you cannot explain what you are thinking. Was I able to clarify communication wala part?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Now, once you have these both technical skills in place and soft skills in place, that comes under the most important part. Resume में reflect भी करवाना है वो same चीज. Now, what you people might be doing in your resumes would be that you have just written down your experience or your day-to-day job, right? But it won't be reflecting what a business analyst need to do. So you need to ask some kind of questions through that. Is my resume showing me as a problem solver or not? Right? That can be done in various ways. Secondary thing that people look into it, what kind of problem that is solved, what kind of business he is coming from. Was that an e-commerce business? Was that a healthcare business? How was that a financial business? Now, one of the person that just asked me, right, that he was in cabin crew business, right? He was in flight business. So that is a particular domain, airline industry. Now he need to showcase that I have some kind of understanding of business of airline industry. So people are more looking that wherever you are coming from, whatever is your past background, what is the business understanding you have from that particular domain. If you can showcase that you have spent around 2 to 3 years of experience in a particular domain and you also know the business understanding of it, that gives you a reflection to the recruiter that once he joins our company, he will learn about the business in our company and help it grow. So if you know, it would be very great if you have business domain knowledge of the current company, but it will add it to your resume if you have domain knowledge of other business companies also. And how can you get that? It is basically just metrics. For example, e-commerce. What is NMV? Net merchandise value. GMV. What is gross merchandise value? Orders, returns. Understanding of these metrics will make you expert in business domain knowledge also. Any kind of doubt in business domain knowledge? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So moving on to final thing, right? What will make you get an offer? What will make you get an interview call, right? As an analyst. All these three slides that we discussed in detail, right? Technical skills and soft skills. These all these things should be included in your resume and in at least one particular portfolio project where you have implied all these learnings: Microsoft Excel, SQL, one visualization tool, right? Guesstimates, or where you sized a problem or you solved a problem, articulating it in a better way, and also showcasing a business domain knowledge. If you can inculcate all these values in one single project and showcase it to the recruiter, you will definitely receive many calls. Any question on a portfolio project?
Hey, hello. What kind of project should we make as a beginner for Excel and Power BI?
Excel. Yet again, uh, from last for 40 to 50 minutes, right? I'm trying to explain that business analysis is not about knowledge of tools. It is about solving the business problems, right? As a beginner or as a seasoned professional, you need to solve problems. If you can solve your problem in your mind also, then also industry will hire you, right? People who have experience of around 50 to 20 years of in the industry, they just solve problems on the hand, right? So your question itself is wrong. You need to question first yourself, what kind of problem I am solving? Does it require Excel or Power BI or this particular dashboard to be utilized? If yes, you need to use that particular tool. If not, then you don't need to use it. Simple Excel will also work, even for seasoned professionals. If you can just showcase that you solved a problem using Microsoft Excel. Did I answer my question?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Hi, Ketan. What I would like to ask is, if I want to shift from software to business analyst post, I would not have business domain knowledge. In this case, what I should mention in my resume?
Covering these particular questions in the next slide. Anything about portfolio project?
Okay.
Cool. Moving on to the next particular question, right? Okay. So the main thing now coming to the part is interviews and how much preparation time it takes, and how can you showcase your particular skills in that. Majorly interview round are 3 rounds. First of all is technical, and the other 2 rounds are business related or resume related. In the first round, they will test your ability to use Excel in data analysis and same SQL in data analysis. They won't test you the knowledge of functions, whether you know how to use sum or not. They won't test it that. They will give you a data set and they will give you a problem and you need to solve it, right? Same thing, just I explained you other things, right? They will give in the second round of interview, they will give you random guesstimates, or they will give you a particular business case study, and you need to solve it together with a recruiter and reach to a conclusive solution. The third thing is, a recruiter will ask you questions from your resume and your past experience. Now, most of you guys might reach to the first or second stage. Those who are shifting from one domain to other, this is the main area where they get blocked out, right? Now there are around 50 people and they might be belonging to 50 different profiles, but not business analysts. But I will tell you, we all have solved some kind of problem in a day-to-day life. We daily solve it at a personal level or at a professional level, correct? You have to just showcase that particular thing. For example, you just asked me, one of the person, that I was in a software engineering domain. Again, software engineering is also similar now, that you are solving some kind of a problem, but through software tools. Start understanding business about that particular thing that you solved for. You created an website. It has to get some kind of relation with that kind of business, right? You created some code for a particular tool. It has to relate to some kind of business you are working in. Second, the first line of business knowledge you can get through is the same domain you are working in. The second would be the same company you are working in. Know more about your company, how it's driving the business out it, right? You don't need to go to any other company to get the analytics experience. Get it from your company. Go to talk to the business analyst of your company. What do they do? What kind of data set they do? Do your own analysis. Excel is available for everyone, right? You just need a data set. Data sets are available in abundance online. Get a data set. For example, you just download a flight data set or a student's data set, right? Do some random analysis on that. Then go back on online and then again search how could you have added business insights into it. So again, the major reflection from the resume, it should be that a person is a problem solver and he has ability to use XYZ tools in it. Now I will take specific questions from the people who are wanting to switch it. Now I will take that particular specific question after this. Please tell me.
Hi, Ketan. Amar this side.
Hmm.
So I have been working in a company for 2 years, and the company is a seed startup. So I've not worked on a specific job role. So being a startup, I got to work into marketing, sales, then even in program. So I was wearing multiple hats. Okay. So now I am looking to go towards business analytics. I have a basic understanding of all the tools that is required because I am from an electronics background. So I had learned this during my final years. Okay. So now the problem is I'm not getting interviews. Okay. Maybe it can be because of what you said. Yeah, I have to showcase the problem solving skills on my resume and and the portfolio project. So how can I get portfolio projects, like and how how I'm supposed to choose the industry or the project.
Got it. Answering your question in some parts. How do you choose it, right? You
Yeah.
choose it from your area of interest. You have an interest in sports car, pick up the cars industry. You have
Okay.
the interest in real estate, pick up the real estate industry. Whatever makes sense to you. That now, whenever you are showcasing it in your resume, right? It is not for the recruiter to see who is applying. It is for you to see what I am applying for, right? Now, just
Right.
imagine one thing. If, for example, I'm a recruiter, right? I'm recruiting for a business analyst role in Meesho, and you are applying for it through sending me your resume, right? Now, at that particular moment, we both are not talking on a call. I just have a fair understanding of whatever about you through that resume. That resume needs to tell me everything you as a business analyst and nothing else. Correct? Now,
Right.
how can you showcase that best? Through your interests. How can you build those interests? Right? For example, you are interested in sports. You write about sports. Whatever you are writing in resume, you should be very, very fairly, confidently able to tell the other people with passion, right? That you know that particular field in and out, irrespective of what the recruiter's company is doing. Pe- Recruiter is only looking for that whatever he has mentioned, he has end-to-end knowledge about that particular industry. Was I able to solve your first doubt that how to choose the field?
Okay. Right.
Right now,
Yeah.
secondary thing, how to check the portfolio project, right?
Mm.
Once you have learned all the tools, right, whatever comes in handy with that particular analysis, start solving very, very simple problems. Giving you an example, download the data. If you are interested in sports, right, download a data set for Sachin Tendulkar, complete data set in how many matches he has played, how many scores he has, how many ducks he has, how many centuries he has. Try to create a something insightful, right? When you are
Mm.
able to create something insightful, now measure it with someone else project, right? Whenever you are downloading a project, download a project with some kind of solution, but don't go directly to that particular solution. Solve your own and measure it with the others response and see what better things you could have done, right? Include it
Mm.
in that and reiterate it multiple times in multiple domains. Both the things will give you fair understanding of what this particular industry is doing and gaining valuable insights from that particular data. Once you have done this random things, then you need to go to some kind of you can go to Kaggle. Kaggle is a website where everyone is listing their projects, right? Go to Kaggle, select a random project, do the analysis and showcase it to the people. Ask people that do you find it insightful or not. Once your 5 people says that it is insightful for me, include it in your portfolio. Once you get it inside in your portfolio, showcase it to the recruiters, and in the interview people will ask you questions about it. Now this
Mm.
would be the true reflection of that particular portfolio. If people are satisfied and you are passing the rounds for that particular from the your resume wala part, then that means your portfolio project is pretty much good, right? If you're not passing, then you need to keep reiterating on that particular project. There is no single solution to your this particular problem. It is the interest wala part that you have to build first and then solve the problem.
Mm.
Was I able to resolve your second doubt?
Yes, to some extent.
I know what you're looking at. You are looking at, okay, I can tell you, right? This ABC thing, do it, and your portfolio project would be done. No, you cannot do it. I can tell you, I can again give you a complete list of portfolio projects from online, right?
Right.
You can just download it and you can even showcase it in your particular portfolio in your resume also. This will not help in any way. You might get selected for a job also, but you need to deliver those results from
Mm.
portfolio to in actual work also, na?
Mm.
That won't be able to do when you have not did this struggle wala part. This struggle needs to be done to actually do the job when it comes to hand,
Right.
right? Even though if you need to have some kind of portfolio projects, you can reach out to me. I can share you the links for it.
So, is there any way through which I can get internships?
I can come to second, yeah, that part second
Okay.
afterwards. right? First of all, I'm talking about interviews. And anyone who is looking to fix the roles have any doubts now? So that you just question. Do you have any doubts now?
Hi Ketan, Tanmay this side.
Yep. Hi, Tanmay.
So Ketan, I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. When I took like when I was a part of a couple of interviews.
Hmm.
So the business analyst role that was offered to me was more of on the functional side. And the challenge was I kind of knew all the technical skills, like I had a intermediate just on them, and followed by the visualization tools. But when it came to framing BRDs and everything, I mean, when I went prepared, I only saw the BRD template and everything, as in what is the project scope, what is the cost benefit analysis, and all such factors. But still, they were like they need someone who have a significant bit of experience in actually framing a BRD for a project, even functional requirement document. So, I mean, yeah, that was the challenge with me at that time, due to which I wasn't selected for the role.
Right.
So,
Then there is no problem in that particular thing, right? Because if you want to move in a data analysis role, that is not the role. That is again technical business analyst, right? So there
yeah.
is no issue in that way. If you are, you need to be very, very clear in your mind what kind of role you are targeting, right? For
So
tackling,
yeah, I mean, it was a blend of both. I mean, at the same time, they were expecting me to have these skills like SQL as well as Power BI. At the same time, they wanted me to have a just around what kind of like
and
what is the BRDs that are associated with the project. So I'll specify it was a climate tech company. They had an in-house SaaS-based carbon emission analytics tool that cover all the scope of carbon emission of enterprise.
understood.
So
What is your
now,
what,
yes.
what is your current blocker now then? Are you not able to go through that role or you want to change it?
No, no, I'm not able to go through that role. Even I applied for a second role at another startup, and that was the challenge as well. I mean, they were like, you have no experience with framing BRD. Even though I was completely aware of the template,
Then
they were like, okay, unless you actually had a BRD sent to a project or in application. So, I mean, that was the challenge with another interview that I gave as well, and I wasn't selected for both of them.
got it. Yeah, you don't just apply to the random companies. What I'm thinking is you are just applying to a business analyst role when you see an opening, right? That is
This is
now
the
how
case.
it is. That is now how it is done, right? As I explained
Mm.
everyone, right? There are technical skills involved, there are soft skills involved, and then there is a business domain involved. Once you complete all these three layers of business analysis, there comes the your interest wala part. Ki which companies are hiring for this particular role. I will give you a simple example: Amazon, Flipkart, Ola, Uber, normal startups, early day startups like Misho is also hiring for these particular roles. So you need to have a very set kind of target companies you need to target at. What I'm thinking is you are not targeting the right companies, which are not even, for benefit, which will not benefit you. You cannot work in both the domains parallelly for too long. People will need, after 2 or 3 years of experience, people require that have some kind of expertise in a particular field. In particularly your case, you won't have any kind of expertise if you continue doing both the fields together. So
Exactly, Ketan. So, I mean, my background is I started out with Infosys, where I was an infrastructure support engineer. And I mean, for me to relate to the current roles of business analyst that is being offered is comparatively a difference because I mean, I used to work
then
on entirely different tools back then.
have you included these particular tools in your resume?
Yes, yes, yes,
And that's
obviously.
why na, matlab, that technical business analyst tools, have you mentioned that you are a BR, you know how to draw BRDs? Have you
I mean,
mentioned?
I kind of understand when I get a BRD, but for me to frame a BRD, I'm not sure. I mean,
No. Have you mentioned that particular thing in your resume or not?
no, no.
I don't know that we can connect separately, yaar, matlab, to your
Yes, yes,
resume.
even I've one willing to.
Anyone else? So I'm guys, someone who is switching from one particular field to another, right? Who has a gap of years, I need to talk more with them. What exactly you are facing the challenge here?
Yeah, Ketan, I have one question here. What side you mentioned to work on these projects?
I will share it. I will share it. Whether share, I will sharing it here in the chat. Kaggle.
Sure. Thank you.
I can share the resources separately, but I just want to communicate with the guys more. Anyone?
Hi Ketan, Amar again. Okay, so
Yeah.
I just wanted some tips from your end. Since I told you right, I worked in a startup, so not on a specific role. So how can I showcase my experience to get an interview for a business development roles? Sorry, business analyst.
Then, again, I guess it is a similar question. Again, in the same front, you need to showcase that you solve problems and you
Okay.
have the ability to use the tools, right?
Hmm.
How are you going to showcase that you have solved problem? You follow simple guesstimate, like I gave you, right? Ki how
Hmm.
many people are using WhatsApp right now? If you are able to solve that, that means that you know how to solve a problem. Showcase in your particular resume that I solve guesstimates, I have solved business problems for other startups. I do freelancing of these particular problem solving. You can showcase your experience in any way once you actually know how to do it. First way would
Okay.
be keep whatever current role you are in, just switch into that particular role. If you are for example, you are a software engineer in that company, try to move into business analyst role in the same company. If you cannot do that, reach out to some business analyst in that company and understand what exactly they are doing in day-to-day job and keep an update on that and try to do similar kind of tasks with them and include those particular points in your resume. Third would be go and ask. For example, you can reach out to me and know, like, if the second point is not working for you, third point, you go to other people of the business analyst domain and try to know what they are doing and add it into your resume that you do the same thing.
Okay.
Fourth point would be to actually go out and do the freelancing part, or if you cannot do the freelancing part, at least mention. No one is going to check that have you ever done the freelancing part or not, because they will judge you upon the problem solving ability through their interview rounds. This particular problem of experience is only limited to showcasing it to resume, right? Till the
Hmm.
time you show it on the resume, your resume will be selected, you will be on the interview call, and they will be giving you a problem statement to solve for. If you are able to solve the problem, you are going through the round. If you are not able to solve the problem, you are not going through the round. So if your problem is limited to just showcasing into the resume, you can show it in it anyway.
Okay.
Did I answer the question you asked?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Hi, Ketan. Dheeraj here.
Yeah, Dheeraj, please tell me.
I have just one basic question on the tools in SQL. So as I use SQL, I just go and search my queries and fetch the data. So in our analysis, just our job is to extract the data from the databases and then get it to the Excel or Power BI for analysis. What's the use of SQL in analysis?
Right.
As per
As
as per my yeah.
Cool. So I will tell you the exact use case how we use SQL. There is going to be a business manager. For example, Misho has planned a sale last year in October where we projected that we will have 50 lakh orders. Okay. And
Okay.
we only got 40 lakh orders. There was a delta of 10 lakh orders. Business manager will come to you and ask you, Ketan, why did this 10 lakh delta gap exist? Tell me the reason about it.
Okay.
This is it, what you are going to have as the inputs. Now you have the
Yes.
plethora of Misho's data to figure that particular thing out. You have millions of databases, what data to figure out, how to figure it out, which customer you need to study. That entire analysis has to be driven by SQL.
Okay. That is my question only. So just to fetch the data, like what happened in particular timeline. So I will first extract the data, then I will drag it to the Excel or any other analytical tool, right? For
No,
analysis.
no, but that extracting of data is all about analysis, na? Ki how to create that data. In SQL, the data is just stored in rows and columns fashion, right? You have to
Yes,
apply
table
those
format.
logics. You have to apply those logics to get that actually get that data, right? For example, I need to study the retention metrics. Data is not stored as a retention metric in the database. I have to create those SQL logics to understand the retention, and then I will extract those data in Excel and study the patterns.
Okay, the SQL logic means you meant to say framing of correct queries, right?
Correct. Yes. For
Okay,
again,
Ketan, got it.
again explaining you with one particular example. Suppose uh, last year I got 100 orders, and this year I just have got 50 orders. Right now, I want to understand which particular users have not ordered again. Right.
Okay.
In my system, the data is just stored as user IDs. I need to create
Okay.
cohorts for them, right? Okay, these are the users who came on the platform in January. These are the users who came out in the February. After analyzing the data, fetching the data, I would become to know that, okay, only users who have purchased just from January month have not come back. But from all other months, they have come back on our platform to purchase something. Now, to just figure that particular thing out, you need to write SQL queries in a way that give you that particular result. It is just
Okay,
not
Ketan,
writing select star
understood.
from this particular table or extracting the data. It is more about it.
So instead, what I want, what is my business insight? It should be framed in the query manner. So SQL will give me the output, my analysis output, right?
Yes. Your entire analysis output will be from SQL only. You won't write, plain Excel more. In Excel, you will just
Okay, so
create a pivot table and understand the analysis.
I have to just apply my business insights in the form of query to get the
Yes.
exact result. That's
Yes.
the analysis, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Anyone else? Siddhartha, again coming to your point, was I able to answer your points or need to go in more detail? Anyone else?
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Naveen.
Actually, I've been working as a business analyst, so recently I got transitioned into this field.
Okay.
Here, my manager is giving training me on Microsoft Power Automate and Oracle Business Intelligence tool. And here, nowhere in our organization we've been using SQL or anything else. So I just want to know what kind of a business analyst I am. Am I into data or a technical analyst, or could you just give clarification on this?
Do you solve any problems in day-to-day life, day-to-day routine?
Yeah. So actually, we've been getting some kind of automation process, and we've been working on them.
Then you are more in the data analyst side. So what do exactly data analysts do? They have less synergies with the business teams, but more with the data teams, right? More in the sense that how the data is flowing from the backend app to the data that can be consumed by business analyst. So data analysts build those pipelines
Okay.
and ensure that. So I believe you are doing that particular part. So you are not a business analyst, you are more in a data analyst. Companies keep using these names interchangingly, but yes, the clear line of gap is there between business analyst and data analyst.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other question, guys?
Hi, Ketan. I had question regarding negotiation. Okay. Suppose if a person is switching from a non-technical role to business analyst. Okay. So how can he negotiate to a reasonable market standard salary into business development?
Again, Ahmed, there is no straightforward answer to this question, right? Negotiation happens on many reasons, primarily being your interview performance.
Okay.
Right. If you have cleared the interview and you feel very, very confident that, I would have answered 90% correct answers, right? You should be very, very confident in asking the same CTC amount you are expecting. Number one point.
Okay.
Second point, you need to study the company also. There is no point of you asking the CTC which that company cannot afford. You need to have an understanding from various multiple online resources what is the CTC range they generally offer for that particular role. Right?
Understood.
Third thing is, before negotiating with the recruiter, you need to negotiate it with yourself, right? What exactly are you looking at? Do you have the enough skills to get that particular CTC, or you just cleared the interview, but you will get those skills once you start working on it right? And once you have those skills, you will go on and increase your CTC afterwards. So if the company is giving you an opportunity to learn also at a lesser CTC, it is a good to go, because once having the right knowledge and right experience, you can overshoot your CTC at any point of time within the same company or any external company,
Understood.
right? The fourth thing is just whatever the initial, always aim at the highest, right? For example, your current CTCs are 6 lakh. You can always go and tell the recruiter that you want 12 lakhs, but yes, I am also okay to work at a 10 lakh piece if all other things are well in place. That you are getting the right role, you are getting the right team, things like that. So what it reflects to the recruiter is that this person is aiming very, very high. That means he's very confident of his skills, and he's also ready to negotiate as well as per the company needs, because he also respects the role demands,
Understood.
right? And it will vary company to company. One advice which I always give is that before reaching to a stage with the negotiation with the HR, right, just apply to as many companies you can, get the interview experience, and then target your companies, so that you have maximum chance of getting the right compensation after all the experience. You cannot get a good CTC amount with the average interview experience.
Understood. And according to you, what is the like current market standard for an entry level business analyst?
Years, well, it anyway start between 6 to 8 lakh, and between goes to up to 10 to 11 lakh for a fresher, depending upon various companies.
Okay. And which are the industries that are hiring business analysts the most?
Yeah, mainly it is the, if you go, there are different domains: product based companies, then comes the consulting companies, then that comes the service based companies, right? So the CTC also goes down from up to down in same fashion. Product based companies, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, these are all top tier one companies, right? They give more than that also in sometimes, right? Then come down to the consulting companies like KPMG, or I would say McKinsey, right? Bain and Company. All these companies give lesser amount of this experience, but since it is a consulting domain, it gives a fairly good amount. Then comes the service-based companies like TCS, Wipro. So these kind of companies give you that particular CTC. Any other doubt, guys?
Hi,
Yes.
Ketan, one
Okay.
basic
Hi,
question.
Ketan.
Yeah,
So,
Ankur, you go
Like you
ahead.
explained, sorry.
so I need to ask, I'm a BTech pass out of 2017 batch, and I have a gap of 2 years. Then I started my journey as a non-tech profession. I was in BTech. Then for 3 years, I'm working in non-tech profile, and now I want to switch into tech profiles. So how I can show my experience, or I should start as a fresher in this profile, business analyst.
Right.
Should I do?
So, Ankur, there can be two approaches to it. You can do both the things parallelly, right? Create two resumes where you are showcasing yourself as a completely beginner, so that companies who are looking at a beginner level roles or a very less CTC roles can give you an opportunity. The secondary thing would be preparing an experienced analyst resume itself, so that people are who are looking for an experienced individual can reach out to you. Now, for the part where you need to showcase your gap, you are showcasing your gap only when you are telling someone that I have a gap. You don't show your gap in your resume. Just tell them I was working as a freelance consultant for the data analyst part, and these whatever projects you have done, right, to understand the business analytics, just uh, write it down that under that experience, that for those 2 years you worked on these particular projects. So no one is going to know about that you are actually a person with the gap. It is all up to you guys what you showcase in your resume. If you showcase that you have a gap, people will expect it as a gap. If you are going to showcase that even after I didn't have any job, but I was practicing it, or studying it, you can, people will believe that you are an experienced, because they will test your experience level in the interview itself. the objective of the resume is to get the screening part cleared so that they go ahead and call you and ask you about more details of your career.
Okay, Ketan, get it.
Yeah, Dheeraj, go ahead.
So like we discussed the SQL query. So when suppose we have yeah, this one Tableau, SQL, and Power BI. Sorry, this one Python. So what is the use of all these three tools together in any analysis? Like
Okay, I can give you one example out of it. Currently, I'm working on a project where in Meesho, where I have to rank the catalog in some kind of fashion. You know, you open the app, right? And you search something, then you see some kind of catalogs. For example, you search kurti, you will see the kurti catalog in the system. Now, as a business analyst in that company, my role is to make sure that every user who is searching these particular things is going to see those catalogs. Meesho has 100 million products listed on the platform. There are around 4 crore people who are searching daily on the app. Now, this particular data cannot be handled by Excel first, right? In SQL also, if I go ahead and analyze the data, it takes much more time because the data contingencies are very, very high. It takes around 1 day of data to run this particular analysis in SQL. Also, for the custom, SQL doesn't have the ability to create custom functions as per my need. Python already has on top of the developers built of libraries like Matplot library, Pandas, Keras in artificial intelligence, which can fast track my work efficiently. So the tools are driven by the cost infrastructure. If you can solve that problem by simply using Microsoft Excel, you can do that, but it will take some kind of effort from your side, both in terms of time and money. Same thing from SQL, same thing from Tableau. Everyone is doing some kind of a job at some kind of speed and some kind of cost involved. It is a people's choice that they choose it from. For me, particularly when the ability of SQL limits, for me, I use Python then.
okay, got it.
That's
So
why
this library means you say you mean like already set this functions
tool.
already set in the libraries which I
Ah,
directly apply and all that analysis will come in front of me.
right. Yes, right.
Given on the pre-given parameters, right? Instead of
Yes,
applying filter and all, applying formula
yes,
and all like in Excel.
correct. Yes, right.
Okay, okay, understood. Thanks a lot.
Any other doubt, guys?
So as we are seeing a lot of layoffs in different industries, so which industry should we target for a role as business analyst?
Which industry you should target directly these days? I think banking domain, there is not much firing these days, so you can target banking domains. For example, Citibank, HSBC Bank.
Okay.
So these particular companies are definitely hiring these days. Or you can target companies like American Express, right? Again, in the financial
Okay.
domain, that is a less
Okay.
impacted. And also the big
Okay.
MNCs. The major layoffs are happening in a product-based companies led.
Yes. So like as you said, after product, we should look for consulting companies.
Yes, right.
So there are opportunities in that also.
Yes, consulting companies also do have. McKinsey is also hiring. Bain and Company is also hiring these days. BCG is also hiring.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Cool, guys. Anyone has any other doubts?
Hey, Ketan. Hello.
Yes. Yeah,
Hello.
Ashutosh, tell me.
Would you please give idea about the product analyst role?
Okay, got it. So, in nutshell, what I all discussed, there had a common word. It was called business, right? I
Yeah.
talked so much about business. Now, it is exactly same thing, just replace it with the product wala part. Now, what exactly is product part? For example, again, give you an example from an e-commerce app. You go, you search something on the app, you explore the app. You find something very, very intuitive. you want to purchase it, you add it to your cart. Once you add it to your cart, you are fine with the pricing, XYZ things, and then you order it. All of these things happen on a product called app, right? Now there are people in the company who are owning each and bits and pieces. For example, add to cart is a product in a company that someone coming onto the add to cart page has an intent to purchase something and he needs to order that particular thing. So there is a product manager in the company who is responsible for to make sure whosoever is coming to add to the cart option button, and he should be able to make purchase. He's leading that particular point of the product. Now any analysis that is being done for that particular add to cart page, you will be the product analyst for that particular product. How does it get different from the business analyst point of view? Right? You don't solve business problems. You indirectly solve those business problems. For example, there are issues on the add to cart page that people are not able to order on the platform. You solve that particular part. Now people are able to order on the platform, which is indirectly leading to the business growth. Product analyst has more relation towards the statistical part, where they need to do the more experimentation. That okay, what kind of color I have to use on this particular page, what kind of text I have to that, where to give that buy to now cart, buy to cart button on the app, on the upper side, on the lower side, on the middle side, where people are able to comprehend the things. For the product roles, you need to be very, very user sensitive. You have to think from the user's perspective that, okay, if he's using the app, what is his first chance of clicking, where he will click. So everything goes around in the terminology of product. What is happening inside the product? Understood, Ashutosh?
Yeah, yeah. What is scope for this role?
Pretty much high. Again, both business analyst and product analyst go hand in hand. Once you are becoming a business analyst, right, going into the future, you can be anything. You can be a category manager, you can be a business manager, you can become data scientist, you can become a product manager also, if you shift kind of your role. For product analyst, your first step would be to create a product analytics profile. Then you will be moving towards a associate program manager role or product manager role, and so on in the product management. Pretty much high scope these days for both the roles.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hi, Ketan. Uh, I
Yep.
applied
Hi,
for a
Chetan.
I applied for a McKinsey role for a business analyst. For that job, already 30 to 35,000 people applied, and they sent me a rejection within 2 days. In a job description, they didn't mention anything, just only random statement like a problem solver, critical thinking. So
Okay.
for that company, what should mention in a resume if they didn't mention anything, particular thing in job description?
You cannot control your everything, Chetan. So if you applied to McKinsey and due to XYZ reason which you don't know, they have rejected you. You don't focus on that particular part. Focus on that particular company which showed some interest in you. Because till the time McKinsey comes up to you and say ki this was the fault in your resume or your profile, you cannot go and change it. Right? Now, if the same thing is happening in multiple companies, start reiterating, play with your resume now. Change things in your resume. If you have written, you are a business analyst, stop writing it as a business analyst. Start just giving you an example. You can write just analyst in that. Right? If you're writing data analyst, start writing business analyst in that profile. If you have written a project in some kind of way, just shuffle the order of the things that are in the resume. So it is just about figuring out what is right for you, and that can be done only iterations.
Okay, thank you.
Right, one advice would be to whatever there is written in the job description, if you are matching that particular job description in your profile, right, adding the more keywords in your profile every time you're applying to any company, that should always help out. But rejections, till the time you completely know the answer why you got rejected, you cannot work on that. So don't focus on that.
Okay.
Hi, Ketan. I'm Somnath, working as marketing executive. Again, Somnath, I will tell you that there is no specific domain that one should target. It is not about that. It is your 7 years of experience in pharma industry that you need to showcase in that particular resume, that you have been the king of the pharma industry in terms of analysis, that you have derived some kind of these kind of analysis in your past experience. Recruiter will come to know that he has spent these particular amount of experience in pharma industry. He has scaled that business from A to B. Now he can do same thing with our industry also, and that industry can be anything. So target all the industries, but have knowledge about those wherever you are targeting. Any other doubts, guys?
Ketan?
Ketan, to show the recruiters, which is the best tool to show them? Python, SQL, or Excel? Like if I find any database from the Kaggle, then on which application they will be impressed if I show, should I make on which application this analysis?
Depends upon your experience you have, Dheeraj. If you are 0 to 2 years of experience, Microsoft Excel and SQL can also work. If you are more than that, you need to showcase that you have understanding of using these particular tools also, of Python also. So
Okay.
majorly, if you can just showcase in Microsoft Excel also now that you can drive a problem solving thing, people will be
Yes, I
happy,
agree.
because everyone knows that tool can be easily taught, right? If you,
Yes,
for
correct.
example, Dheeraj doesn't know how to write SQL queries, he can come to me in my company. I can give 15 days of training to Dheeraj and he can learn. But I cannot teach Dheeraj how to drive business analysis, right?
Yes,
So
correct.
the first thing they are looking at is a business analysis. I will give you my example. When I started working, giving interviews in Misho, I didn't knew SQL. I didn't even knew that it existed before, right? I learned SQL just 2 days before my interview, and I cleared 50% of the answers, and I was not able to answer 50% of the questions. But they were happy with it, that he has shown interest in showcasing his interest in learning the SQL, and we will make him teach SQL. But the major problem which I was able to solve was the business part of it, right? I was able to solve the business problem which they showed, which they asked me,
Okay, fine.
right? Tools are just mere tools. They are the helping hands. Business problem is the hand which people are looking for.
Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm doing to write down all the business insights questions, Ketan, like 20, 30 questions which are frequently asked in the every analysis. So do you know any website or any any link where I can get these relevant questions for any analysis? Like you mentioned the estimation, maximum sales in which particular period, or example of this Reliance Bazaar on particular day. So here you are trying to find out the maximum sales or minimum sales and estimation. So I want this kind of questions which are frequently used in the analysis. So can I
Got
get it somewhere?
Yeah, so the on Medium you can search for the such case studies. Medium,
Acha.
or you can go to Data Science 365, I guess, is the website.
Medium, what is spelling? Normal medium.
Normal Medium, MEDIUM. Just write
Okay, medium
Medium Business Analyst case studies, you will get it.
and data analysis 365, right?
Right.
Okay, okay. Thanks a lot.
Cool, guys. If any one of you would be interested, right, to move into analytics with my guidance or with my mentorship, you can reach out to Preplaced team and you can register yourself. And it can be going in the range of, right, how many time it takes. Generally, it takes 3 months for a person to go into data analytics in depth. All the tools that I showed, it takes around 3 months of time there. And after that, it takes around 3 months of the time to get the job search and interviews done and get the experience. So it is a 6 month journey. And if people would be interested to, you know, do it, you can reach out to Anushka. Any other question, guys? Happy to take it up.
Hi, Ketan. I should showcase on Naukri and LinkedIn as a fresher or as an experience, because I'm a 2016 pass out, and mostly companies hire as a recent pass out batches as a fresher.
So, Ankur, you can create 2 accounts on Naukri, right?
Okay, okay, got it. Right.
Any other guidance, right, guys?
Ketan,
Sorry.
if I had to take a certification, right? So, what will be your recommendation? Which certification should I go for?
Yeah, again, Amar, again, it is the objective of the certification that needs to be delivered. If you are going to ask me something in this fashion, right, Ketan, suggest me a certification, right, in this particular budget, that after doing it, I get a job, right? I cannot suggest you anything.
No, I'm not asking in terms of getting a job, like
In terms of
to
learnings,
showcase in
right?
the resume.
Okay, so you just need to understand, how to build your resume better, right?
Yes. So I just want any certification that has like good value and it can be showcased in the resume that has some weightage.
No, yeah, no course have that particular weightage. It is
Okay.
your way of writing things down. No one gives value to any course or certificate in specifically recruiters. They know what courses teach you, whatever things teach you. They will, first of all, check your experience. If your experience is relevant, then they will give you a call about it. Once they once you get a call, everything would be delivered from the recruiter's end. What kind of experience you had, what kind of, there will be no discussion about in the course. There would be someone in the hiring team, right, on those 3 rounds of interview who might ask you something about it. So course directly doesn't add any value to it. You need to write that particular learnings that you have gone from the course, and it can be anything. You can just write a simple Google Coursera course also, but those learnings from that course is what going to impress the recruiters. Name of the course is never, some brand is not going to impress the recruiters.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ketan, there's a question in the chat box. Can you have a look?
Yeah, Somnath, so what exact details, right, I talked about in this particular session, right from the beginning, what does analyst do? I will go through deep dive, create a mindset for you that what exactly is the business analyst? How do we solve this problem? I will showcase you what I do on a day-to-day basis. Once you feel very, very confident that, yes, this is something that I want to go ahead in and I want to work in the future, I will go ahead and teach you other things. For example, SQL, Python. I will give you the access to all the online resources which are available for free online, right? And then you can practice those or learn those skills on your own. And whenever you feel like I'm stuck here, I don't know how to move further, I'm there to help you. I'm there to mentor you. Primarily, I can take up 2 sessions per week to resolve your any doubts, right? And that particular session would have X number of sessions depending upon you, how much consultation you need. The charges for that right now, it is like 2,500 per month and 2 sessions per week. So all the skills that I showcased right now, from building your resume, how to impress the recruiters, right? Right from technical and soft skills, everything is covered in that. I will help you in all the phases. Anyone else has any doubt?
Okay, Ketan, if all the doubts and queries are resolved, I think so we can end the session here.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining.
Also, you all will be getting the recording of the session via emails and WhatsApp. So, we can also be sharing it on the group as well. So you can directly get it from there.
Thank you, guys, for joining. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Would we be getting the recording?
Yes, yes. I will be sharing
Thank you.
the recording via email.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.